Hello everyone, thanks once again for tuning into the channel. So in this video we are going to do some indoor and outdoor photography. There's some people like me who don't use any kind of Photoshop or use any kind of editing. So we're going to get started with this figure, and the backdrop that I'm using is just a plain paper backdrop. So with this figure I'm actually going to be using these Aperture MC lights. I know you've heard me speak about the lights before, and so I'm going to be using these lights to really get the kind of lighting that I want, because literally I can tone it down to where it's not too harsh to the point to where you can't see the other lights coming from the figure, as well as the lighting that's coming from the desk, because that's also a pretty bright light. But the nice thing about these two lights is that you can use them to any sort of degree as far as having warmer tones or harsher tones when it comes to the lighting. I'm using a 35mm macro lens because I want to kind of get that tight close shot, because as you can see I don't have a huge setup that I'm kind of working with. There's some areas that are a little cut off, so you can see just exactly how some things are exposed, and so therefore my macro lens will give me that tight shot so that I can crop everything and everything looks like further, which is what your imagination will do. Your imagination will fill in the gaps of the rest of the scene. So yes, that's the setup that we have, and I think these lights are really going to help this image come out, and it's going to come out really good. Okay, so now we're going to move into the outdoor portion of the photography. So obviously you're working in a different environment because now you're competing with the sun. It either works to your advantage or works to a disadvantage. I would say on my way on over here, there was a little bit of overcast. It's now kind of cleared up. You got some patchy clouds and everything, so you can still use that to your advantage. But even though you have a harsh sunlight, you still can use it to work depending upon what kind of shot you want to use. So we found a nice little area that we can use for the Mandalorian, which is what we're going to be shooting today outside, and we'll see how well it turns out. One of the other things you have to deal with sometimes when you have the harsh light, it helps to have some things to maybe deflect the light so that you can still use it to your advantage even though you're outside and you're dealing with the harsh sun. So you can also use one of these deflectors. This is one by Newer. You can pretty much pick them up anywhere. I particularly picked this one off of Amazon, but it really just helps with dealing with the harsh light. So basically just open it up and you got something that you can use to deflect the light. This actually has a number of different colors that you can open up with and everything, so you can really use this depending upon your kind of lighting. It's literally a number of different uses that you can have for it. So as you can see, it's kind of clouds are coming in, so I'm again working with the different chains of the light and everything, but you can use that to your advantage. Just all you have to do is just use some patience and be able to work with the environment. But that's the joys of being a photographer. You just kind of work with what you have. So let's go ahead and get started with the Mandalorian photos and see how well they turn out. Usually when I'm outdoors, the lens that I normally use is my 70-200, and today is no exception. It's actually a really good lens that I like using all the time. Every now and then I'll maybe use my macro lens, or I'll use my 18-55 kit lens, but considering the environment and the area that I'm able to work in, 70-200 really gets me those really good shots where I can really use my aperture priority for those shots, and it just comes out really good. And so again, today is no exception for that. So this was just a quick tutorial. Hopefully it was able to answer a few questions and help you out and maybe give you some ideas to try on your own. If you have any other ideas or things that you would like to see in some of the videos, any questions you may have, feel free to shoot them and we'll see if we can address them in further videos. If you also want to know some more tips and things like that, that's where you can find it in the new Toytography magazine, as well as other toytographers. You'll be able to see some of their images as well. So definitely check that out. I'll leave a link for the description so you can be able to get your copy of the magazine. And yeah, I'm curious to know what you think and what things you would like to see in further issues. Thanks once again for tuning in. I appreciate you guys every single time, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good day.